New stadium. Now I gotta come back with that. New stadium. 30 years of not having to worry about, are we moving? Are we going over here? Are we gonna be called the Idaho Bay? None of that. Big old stadium coming to Buffalo. Let's go. What's it gonna look like? Woo, I got some ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Rico Report, brought to you by the Buffalo Fanatics. Yes, sir, we are here. We got some topics to hit today. But we just needed to come here and have some fun and talk about this new stadium, man. Like, what does it mean? Like, what, how are they gonna build this thing? What's it gonna look like? I have some ideas. There are some ideas out there. But before I even get into all of that good stuff and that great stuff, folks, welcome. For those that are tuned in for the very first time and you guys have no idea who we are the Buffalo Fanatics. I'm your host, Rico, and we're about to get into some Bills talk and NFL talk all around, right? We've got some signings to talk about. We're in the official draft mode, right? Free agency is pretty much come to, I don't want to say an end because there's some third waves that are going to be happening, but most teams now are going to be focusing on, okay, tail end of free agency and now into draft. And this is where I come in. Now, I ain't no draft guru. I will promise you that. I've never pretended to be. I dabble. I jump in and try to get as much information as I can about certain prospects and try to relay it to y'all, right? And that's my job, right? And I'll try to do it as best as I can. So I appreciate y'all for coming in and tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Smash that like button if you haven't already. And listen, hit that notification bell. Become part of the notification gang. And that way you won't miss a beat. We will hit you every time and let you know when we're going up. So, folks, let's get right to the business. The Bills got a new stadium on its way. How exciting is that? I've been to quite a few Bills games myself. I personally like the stadium. I'm a fan of it. I mean, it's the only stadium I've ever been to. I've never been to an away game. In my lifetime, I'd like to go to at least a few away games to feel the energy of what it's like. But I love going to Bills games. It's a home away from home for me personally, because I go there and is love everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, everybody is like, it's an opportunity and I mean this sincerely. It's an opportunity, honestly, to, like, whatever issues that's going on in your life. You know what I'm saying? You're going through some troubles or whatever the case is. When you go to a Bills game, it gives you 3.5 to 4 hours of just, let me just be with people that are like-minded. Let me enjoy this team. Let me enjoy this win. Let me enjoy this experience. And we keep it moving. Now, the beautiful thing about all this is it stays in Orchard Park, to my understanding. And we're going to be building this thing, I think, starting in 2023. And the building takes about 32 months to build. So in a blink of an eye, man, Bills are going to be in their new stadium, and that's going to be fun. What's not going to be fun is how much we're going to pay. That one's going to hurt. I know. I've been talking to some folks that are season ticket holders, and sadly, they may have to give up their season tickets. Because it's just going to cost too much. And that sucks, man, because if you've been a season ticket holder for 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, and now because of the economy and how things are coming along, you're like, I got to give them up. That sucks. That really does suck. I'm hoping, I know there's some details that need to be ironed out. I'm hoping in amongst these details is a way for season ticket holders to maintain their season tickets. It doesn't kill them for them to give them away, and it's still manageable. But listen, $1.4 billion stadium, it's gonna cost. That's just what it is, man. It's the cost of business, man. But it is going to be super. I'm elated, man. It's nice to it's a new start, right? And the way the stadium is going to be, it's inspired by, and what it's going to look like is actually beneficial to us, the fans. And we'll go through that in just a moment, but I just wanted to touch on that because, here's what it does more so, right? For those that are in my age group, you know what I'm saying, mid-30s, and you got younger kids coming up, now you can say, hey, oh man, this is going to be the squad you're going to be rocking with, for a while, right? We're not going to be You know what I'm saying? Some team that is going to be moving into Toronto. You feel me? It's not going to be that. So it's nice to be able to say, yo, it's gonna be here for a while. And things are starting to somewhat go back to normal. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, too, everything, I mean, we're going back to what? John Fisher. Training camp is going back to John Fisher. So it'll be nice for people from Rochester. I think it's in Rochester, to go and support the team. Right. And if it works out for me as well, man, I would love to go to training camp and see what that's like and just be around and do all that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Do some networking and all that good stuff. It'd be fun. It'd be fun, man. But things are somewhat starting to go back to normal. But man, 1.4 bill, man. 1.4 B. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, man. Joseph said it, man. Yo, it costs 1.4 bill to keep the Bills in Buffalo. That's the price to pay. That's the price to pay, man. It's business. It is business. Shout out to my man, the ref comes in with a super chat early. He says, hey, man, I'm so happy we don't have to worry about the Bills relocating. Me too, my G. The design looks incredible. It resembles anything like the Hotspur Stadium. Well, here's the deal, folks. You thought I was just going to come out here and not show you what it's going to potentially look like. So shout out to my man, Bobby, that came through heavy. That's my G, man. That's my guy right there. So before we do, let me show you what's going on here. So PSC executives, VP Ron, I'm going to say Rakuya. I don't know what that is, man. Says that the new Bill Stadium will exemplify Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, but will use different features from newer NFL stadiums. Now, that's really cool. So you're going to have soccer stadium look with a bit of NFL nuances, which I like. That's going to be super dope, right? He also says that we should expect to get the final design of the stadium in a couple of months, which will be freaking dope. I'm looking forward to that. He adds that construction should begin spring of 2023, dope, and should take 30 to 32 months to complete via Kevin, Syracuse, my G. Photos of Tottenham Hotspur is coming up. I'm going to show you guys what exactly it's going to look like. Now, what's really cool is, similarly, Tottenham Hotspur seats about 63,000 people and covers a majority of the fans. The bowl shape of the stadium maximizes hospitality, facilities, and designed like a concert hall with good acoustics to optimize the atmosphere. What that tells me is we'll be able to get loud and proud, and it's going to affect the other team. And that's what you want, right? Because when you go to the Ralph is no joke. We can get loud and people feel it. You know what I'm saying? So it's really dope to be able to have that aspect. So furthermore, let me show you what this stadium is somewhat going to look like. So check this out. So you're going to have that I love the soccer look, right? It may not be identical, but it's going to have somewhat of a look like this. Now, how dope is that, right? You're covered by the elements. You got an open dome. You can still be affected by the elements, but for the fan experience, you're not as affected by it, right? So that's one angle to look at it from the Hotspurs. Check this out. How cool would that be? How many things can you see us doing with this, man? Go Buffalo, defense, whatever, man. That's going to look dope. Now, is it going to look exactly like this? Probably not. Is it going to look similar? Absolutely. And how good would that be? Buffalo Fanatics right in that, man. That'd be dope. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen. We could do all those type of things, man. That'd be super dope, man. So, and here's what it's going to look like, man. Check a night game. Monday night, Sunday night football. This is what's going to look like, man. We're going to it's going to be lit. So this I approve of, man. This is going to look amazing. I'm looking forward to how this is going to just the final design of what it's going to look like. And it should be fun, man. So check this out. The outdoors of the Tottenham Spurs. This is what it looks like a little bit. So have a state-of-the-art stadium is going to be super nice to have in Buffalo, man. So kudos to, you know what I mean, the Pagulas and everybody that got involved to make this thing happen. And here's your overshot view, man. Here's that bird's eye view. See what the stadium is going to look like. So kudos, man. Kudos to how this is going to go down. I'm actually excited about it. And a lot of folks should be excited about this, man. This is cool. This is cool business, man. So respect. We got a stadium coming. And let's take full advantage of it, man. Let's take full advantage of how this is going to go down. And we'll go from there. Prospect Watcher goes, Yo, Rico, I'm a student at Fisher. I would love to meet you in person. Dude, let me tell you something, man. I'd be ecstatic to be able to go to Rochester and just chill out. Not on some next level, like here reporting, like you know what I mean? None of that. Just chill out, be a fan, and just kind of like see and view the atmosphere. You feel me? Now, if the opportunity presents itself that we are able to go and do what we normally do on screen, but now in person, shoot, that's even better too. But yeah, man, I'd love to meet a whole whack of y'all, man. Real talk. I mean, I haven't had a chance to go to the games because of this whole COVID shit. So now that this COVID shit is over with, you know what I'm saying? Your boy's gonna be head back to the stadium. That's what's up. So yeah, man, new stadium coming to Buffalo. Dope. Love it. Love every bit of it. And I mean, how could you go wrong with that? How could you go wrong? It's needed. I mean, we had one of the oldest stadiums in the game right now. So it allows us to get right back to it. So shout out to Stadium Talks. It's coming, and in the next few years, we're gonna have ourselves a nice new stadium to go to. So hold on to your purse strings because it's gonna be expensive. It's gonna be expensive. So you know what I mean, you know what I mean, listen, find yourself a little sugar daddy. You know what I'm saying? Find yourself a little sugar mama somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Get cozied up. You know what I'm saying? And find a way. Find a way to get to these games because I might have to be doing the same. You feel me? But yeah, man, it's super dope. So kudos to a new stadium coming to Buffalo. Now, we got new rules. The NFL has approved some new rules. If you're probably wondering what the heck we talking about, well, it's the Josh Allen rule. We're gonna call it Ja Rule. If I just thought of that right off the freaking bat. We're gonna call it the Josh Allen rule, right? Because right now the NFL has approved for in NFL playoffs, the playoff, I guess the playoff change to the overtime rule will be that every team has a possession. Period. So I get a position and I score right off the bat and I hit a 2-point conversion. Game's not over. You have the opportunity to match me, and if you don't match it, that's on you. You lose. To me, that's the right thing to do. I don't know why it took this long for us to figure something out. This is it. So we're gonna call it Ja Rule. Hey man, yo, it's the Ja Rule, man. The Josh Allen rule. Real talk. Because if not for what an amazing game, if not for that amazing game that we displayed and we got to witness, because listen, heartbreak aside, that game was one for the ages. That game was amazing. We were on the heartbreak of it. We were on the losing end of it. But what an incredible game it was. And that incredible game has allowed us now to kind of like the rumblings got a little louder and people started realizing, man, like this game shouldn't have gone to the Chiefs, right? And the way that the Bills were rolling, you knew that Allen was dialed in. Now, I can't say he shouldn't have gone to the Chiefs because we don't know how it would have played out, but it would have been nice to see and give Josh the opportunity to move his team to try to win the game, right? So that would have been cool. But we will get there at one point. Actually, we'll get there next year, right? But hopefully we won't even have to deal with that because we're going to be waxing every team that steps on the field with us, and finally be able to go to Lombardi and actually win the damn thing. We've been there before, just couldn't capitalize. Now we got to take care of business. That's what we got to do, man. Shout out to my man Maybach, man. What up? Suck my say, man. Nula. So shout out to my man JR. What up, JR? What's happening, kid? So that in itself is really cool. So welcome to the new rules, man. New rules of the NFL, man. The changes got to be made. And when the changes got to be made, you got to do what you got to do. And according to my man Schefter, new OT rules is to guard against, right? Here's what the NFL's OT rules is trying to guard against. Here's what they're trying to do, right? Over the past decade, here, this is the crazy thing, right? This is why you need these rules. Check this out. Over the past decade, teams that won overtime, coin flip in the postseason were 10-2, including 7 of those 10 wins coming on the opening possession. So if that statistically doesn't tell you that there's somewhat of a flaw in that overtime rule, well, flaw no more, because now there is none of that. Now, details on this new rule. Let's just say I score, Bill score, wham. I don't know. We're in the Super Bowl. We're facing the freaking, I don't know, the freaking Detroit Lions. I'll use the Detroit Lions. Never know, right? We're facing the Detroit freaking Lions. We're going against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Let's go with Tampa Bay Bucks. I score, boom. They score, boom. Now, Once we've both had an opportunity to score, it's now sudden death. So now the next possession, if you happen to score, you win the game. If you don't, I get a possession, I score, and I win the game. It's that simple. So there's not going to be a whole drawn out and ifs, buts, whatever. Like there's going to be someone that wins this game. So kudos. It's about time that they came out and made the changes because it's necessary. You had to. It was something that you needed to do. You did it. It's over with, and let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it moving. So shout out to the new rules, and I think it's about time. Like my man Rev said, it's about time. Y'all playing with this for too damn long. And here's the worst part. You would think it would be unanimous, where everyone would be like, yes, yes, make the rule. Vikings, Dolphins, and I think it was the Bengals. We're like, no, we don't want that rule. Don't change it. Yo, go kick rocks. Honestly, this will probably benefit your ass. I mean, maybe not the Dolphins because y'all ain't gonna be doing anything for a while. Bengals looking real good. Vikings, I don't know what's going on with them. You never know with the Vikings, right? But right now, Packers have been your daddy for a while. So I mean, we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving. Shout out to my man Cameron says, you're not missing anything, Rico. Bills are the only good thing in Western New York. Well, you'd hope that the Sabres at one point can start getting their act together. And I don't pay attention to hockey too much. Actually, I don't pay attention to hockey at all. Unless, you know what I mean, I hear the Senators are doing something pretty good, which they're not. My father-in-law is a big Leafs fan, so I hear him try to chat it up and stuff. But I've been seeing and hearing, you know what I mean, Sabres fans, Bills fans talk about how bad the Sabres are. When are y'all gonna be nice, man? I'm waiting. I haven't seen. I mean, the last time I remember the Sabres being nice, I can't believe I'm talking hockey right now. The last time I remember the Sabres being nice when Dominic Hasek was your freaking goalie. And that's a long time ago. That's a long time ago. That's when I used to play freaking NHL, you know what I'm saying? Blades of Glory. I mean, I went too far, but you catch what I'm saying, man. I used to play EA NHL back in the day. You feel me? I mean, come on, man. The Sabres got to step it up. And that's as much Sabre talk you're going to get from me ever. That's real talk. Shout out to my man Victor Lopez comes in with a super chat, says, hey, man, new stadium and return to the Rock for training camp is straight up dope. I can't wait to see a live game in that thing. You rock, Rico. I appreciate that, man. It's going to be fun, man. New atmosphere, new everything. And here's the thing, too, right? Whenever there's new things that happen, right? Let me give you an example. I don't know Buffalo well enough for me to talk on it, but I'll give you an example and you guys can probably relate. Okay. So where's that place that you guys all party? Chippewa Lane or Chippewa freaking downtown where you guys all party, right? I know it's something Cheektowaga. I think it's Cheektowaga. I have no idea. Anyway, don't drill me on this, guys. I don't know that city like that. Anyway, so let's just say there was a place. What's the oldest bar that's been there? And everyone knows that that's the bar that you go to, and everybody gets sauced up. And there's always some BS that happens at this bar in particular, right? They shut it down. What ends up happening? They rename it, they modify things, and all of a sudden they bougie everything up, right? The drinks are more expensive. You know what I'm saying? Cover charge is more expensive. It just happens, right? And a different crowd starts to show up to these places. I hope that a different crowd doesn't start showing up to these Bills game, the more bougie crowd. I hope not. You know what I'm saying? I like that homegrown, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that bougie fan. I want that fan that's like me, that we relate. You know what I'm saying? We don't take ourselves too seriously. We ain't showing up in, you know what I'm saying, 3-piece suits to these games, man. We just chilling. I hope that that's the way the stadium, we maintain the same crowd, because sometimes those things change. You know what I'm saying? You get a new spot. You know what I'm saying? New me. You're saying you ever hear those a new number who this? That's I hope the stadium doesn't become the new number who this. You feel me? So like, don't overprice it too much. I mean, keep your same crowd coming to the game, and we're gonna have a good one. But ain't no way you want a bougie ass crowd that's not ready to get down and get dirty and really have a good ass time. You feel me? Nah, we ain't want that. We don't want that bougie. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully they don't really kill us with the price, because it's gonna kill Canadians already at the disadvantage. First and foremost, off the rip, we're already at the disadvantage because we have to pay the conversion rate to even move over there. And the things are even going more expensive. So we are already at the disadvantage. We're coming out of pocket way more. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that it just It's not as bad. Did I get that right? I think. Thank you, Scott Roswell. Chippewa Street. I said Chicktawaga. Totally wrong. Chippewa Street. So you guys catch what I'm kind of saying? Does that resonate? I hope it doesn't become we don't become too bougie. You feel me? I hope that the core Bills fans come through and hang out and do what we do. Somebody said North Buffalo. And here's the thing, man. The fact that ODC That's Me said, oh, North Buffalo, I already know what you're saying. I already know what you're saying. So I hope that it's North Buffalo, South Buffalo, East Buffalo, West Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? And on the outsides. And don't forget us Canadians. We coming through. You feel me? I hope it's just a feel. It's still legitimate that we have the right crowd coming through these games, man. I'm just keeping it as real as possible with y'all. So shout out to the new stadium, and I hope it just doesn't kill us on pricing and all that good stuff. But you know how that's gonna be. But rule changes, NFL rule changes are happening. So big advantage for teams that want to be able to, like, you know what I mean, sustain to keep the success going. And not having a fluke freaking play happen and they lose off of that, i.e. the Bills. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that plays out, folks. We'll see how that plays out. I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see how that how all of it plays out. So that being said, there are more rule changes. The Rooney rule. The Rooney rule had a slight change. And the slight change is that they have, I guess you want to say, expanded the minority rule. And by expansion of the minority rule, they pretty much are saying, listen, not only are we looking for, I'm just going to open this up here. Not only are we looking for more minority coaches to have more opportunity, but they're opening up to women, right? So diversity has opened up now. So teams are now looking at more and including more women in these searches to put them in prominent roles. And listen, you ain't gonna get a complaint from me. I'm all about that inclusivity. Now, most people are there. I've seen and read some rumblings about that as well, right? Where bringing in more women into the game, which is fantastic, but does it take away from the minority coaches that now have to fight now with dealing with competing with women in the workplace as well, right? So I'm reading that stuff. I was like, yo, diversity is diversity at the end of the day, man. You just don't want to see the same things over and over and over again. Open it up. If it's more women, great. If it's more, you know what I mean, people of color, fantastic. If saying that's what we've been fighting for. But, you know, I think people are just sick and tired of seeing the same damn faces all the time. So kudos to the changes. Changes are coming. I mean, change is good. A lot of folks don't want to talk about change, but change is good, man. It's not a bad thing. It's just what it is, man. So new stadium coming to Buffalo, dope. Rule changes are coming to Buffalo, which is dope. I'm feeling that. I'm all about it. And we go from there. So now that we got that fun stuff out of the way, folks, let's talk about something, man. We are now in full-fledged free agency mode. And one signing that we did, I'm super thrilled about, Ryan Bates. Ryan Bates is coming back to Buffalo. We matched his tender that the Bears gave him. I think the Bears thought they legitimately had an opportunity to steal Ryan Bates from us. Well, sir, Mr. Bean was like, nah, I'm about to let you guys set his market. And if it's too rich for my blood, I can have him. But you're going to have to really, really pay him. And the type of player that Ryan Bates is that he doesn't have a whole lot of film out there, right? Unless you go back to his college days. But doesn't have a whole lot of film. So you can't go and give him the bag because he hasn't earned the bag. But he's definitely earned a hefty, nice paycheck. So to the Bills were in the advantage the whole freaking way through. There was no way about it. It was like, yo, what are you guys going to pay Ryan Bates? And we already have a number that we think that you're going to pay him. And that's exactly how it played out. That's exactly how it played out. We got him for 4 years, 17 mil. And he's got what? 8 mil guaranteed. Fam. That's perfect, man. And somebody was like, well, doesn't mean he's going to start. I mean, no, hold on. Why are we glorifying a backup? This is the main thing that I've been hearing, right? People get upset that we get excited about a lineman that was officially put into the lineup that made our O-line better, that allowed our quarterback to do what he does, and that even got our running back playing a lot better. The minute we put him into the lineup, and people want to talk about, oh, well, he's a backup. Well, hate to break it to you, folks. A backup to who exactly on this team? Who is he backing up? He's not back. Listen, that's starter money. That's starter money on this team. That's starter money. So we're gonna pay this man $8 million guaranteed, fam. He's the starter. He ain't backing up nobody. That's his position. So it's gonna be Saffold to the left side and Ryan Bates on the right side. I cannot see us drafting someone that's going to overtake Ryan Bates, and we paying this man $8 million. Unless something catastrophic happens or something ridiculous happens where a guard that was not supposed to drop to us drops to us, and we're able to grab him, that's a whole different ballgame. But I can't see it happening. So your line, which I'm very thrilled about, is going to be Dion Dawkins, Roger Saffold, Mitch Morris, Ryan Bates on the right-hand side next to, our boy Spencer Brown. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm all for it. I mean, I like Spencer Brown on the left side. Excuse me. I liked Ryan Bates on the left side, but we have a savvy vet that's going to be taking over that side. So I have no issues whatsoever with that. So kudos to Ryan Bates coming through, handling business. We get number 71 back on the squad, which I'm excited about. And it tells me two things. It tells me two things: that we made the right decision to, first of all, put him in the game and leave him there. We made the second best decision is to bring him back. And I'll even go further as far as this. Thirdly, what do you think this is going to do for our run game? This is going to solidify our run game. You saw how it improved. Now, picture, whatever dynamic back that we decide to draft in this game, because I think we're going to draft another running back. Where we draft him, who knows? But I'm sure they're looking for someone that's got speed, right? They went after J.D. McKissick. That didn't work out. They got Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson ain't no slouch. When you're running back from the U, you can play. I haven't seen any running backs from the U that can't play. Every one of these cats can come in and do the damn thing. So we are going to be looking for a dynamic back. So I'm sure we're going to draft somebody, and whoever we draft is going to be perfect behind this line. It's going to be perfect. So I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see how that plays out, man. Third and fifth round for an RB, third to fifth round. Yeah, there's going to be some good ones, man. There's definitely going to be some good ones in the third to fifth round. There's no question about that. Dayton R says Spencer Brown is a top 10 right tackle in the NFL. I mean, I'd have to go through every single team to see if he is. After a rookie year being the top 10 right tackle, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't know if you're right. You know what I mean? I'd have to really look into it. My man Rev, what up, Rev? Rev comes in and says, "Yo, I love Bates re-signing. Big baller Bean will draft an OG at some point because Saffold is basically a one-year deal. There's no question about it. But how high do you draft your guard? It's a how high. I mean, if you draft it in the first round, I have no issues with you drafting your quarterback your guard in the first round, knowing that he's going to sit. He's going to sit. He's going to learn behind Saffold, and if Saffold can parlay himself into a second year, great. If it's just a 1 year rental, so be it. You know what I'm saying? At 34 years of age, can he play a couple more years? Of course. I mean, look at Whitworth. Whitworth was 40 plus, 40, 41, and just retired. I mean, he's a tackle. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's tough in itself. I mean, that's an Iron Man right there, number one. But it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. Shout out to my man, Johnny Blaze. Johnny Blaze comes in and says, "Yo, Kenyon Green, Breece Hall, Jamison Williams, Andrew Booth are there for us in the first. Who's everyone taking?" I mean, you guys already know how I feel about that. If that's the list that you're giving me. So I have two guys on that list. Three guys on that list. I like Kenyon Green, Breece Hall, and Andrew Booth. I just don't feel receiver in the first round for me personally is necessary based on what we have already in our receiver room, right? Jamison Crowder is the latest to be added to it, which I absolutely love that signing. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I love that signing, and I think he's going to be a big contributor to us this year, especially with what he brings. It's the run after catch. You know what I'm saying? You get that? He's already in looking for the next step. I mean, don't you remember when this man played on the Reds? I was going to say the Redskins, the Commanders. I got to get used to that. Don't you remember when this man played on the Commanders? That's all I kept on hearing. When the Commanders weren't that great, all I was hearing was Crowder. Who's this Crowder cat? This Crowder cat is nice, man. Well, we got that Crowder cat on our squad. A little older, but boy can still play. The man can still play. So I'm all about that. So good on us bringing in Ryan Bates, because now it solidifies us on the line. So we're not really heavily looking into a replacement right off the bat in the first round. So it allows us, and this is the beautiful thing about these re-signings, if you will, free agent signings, is it allows you to fill your holes. I mean, things you guys already know, but fill your needs or fill your I guess your liabilities, if you will, or your weaknesses on your squad. Fill them in, and now when you get ready to draft, man, you can pick BPA anywhere. And if you feel you want to go running back because you can, you can. If you want to go receiver, you absolutely can. If you feel that you need to go cornerback, you absolutely can. There's no question about that. So kudos to us really signing Bates, and we signed Ike Boettger. Here's one thing: what is the fascination and love we have for Ike Boettger? I have no idea. I'm super curious. I am very curious. What is I don't want to use it's like I'm hating because I'm not, but like we've had him marinating on the sideline for a while, for a long time. And then when he's got in the game, he's been okay. He's been pretty good. Nothing fantastic where you're like, man, we got to bring him back. But the fact that we did bring him back shows that they have absolute love and respect for Ike Boettger, and they see something in him, especially after his gruesome injury. So him coming back is interesting to me, but it tells me that they love Boettger, man. They love Boettger. So it is what it is now. It is what it is. John DeFazio, what up, John? What's up, Johnny? John comes as, yo, I'm telling you, stop sleeping on our boy at RB. You talking about Devin Singletary? If you're talking about Devin Singletary, ain't nobody sleeping on Devin Singletary. We saw what Devin Singletary is capable of doing. We see Devin Singletary. We also see his limitations. That's what it comes down to. We see limitations, right? Here's my theory on this whole RB situation, because I know a lot of people get up in arms. Don't take an RB in first round, which I respect. I respect that, right? But like usually when you have an RB that can do it all, very rare will you see a two-back committee, because this running back does it all, right? You're able to do it all. Now, when you have backs that have limitations, they do, you know what I mean, 2 of 5 things the way you want them. You need that complementary back that can do the other 3. So that way they're interchangeable. You can bring them in and out. When you have a back that can do all, that can pass block, that can catch out of the backfield, that can run inside, that can run outside, that can run away from you, that, you know what I'm saying? That can, you know what I'm saying? That can split out wide as a receiver. What you need a 2-back system for when you have a back that can do it all. 3-down back, right? These days, there's not a lot of 3-down back guys. That's why a lot of people hate that you draft these guys in the first round. They hate that because sometimes you don't have that 3-down back type of dude. You have he may do 2. He's got long speed, but can't pass block. How can you take that in the first round? You need a complete back to go in the first round. So, and that's my opinion. That's the way I look at it. So you have some RBs in this draft that don't have it all. There are some that do, that you can implement as a first round draft pick because he can do A to Z, but some can't. But that's an opinion, right? That's an opinion piece, because some people feel that this RB is better than that RB, or the receiver should be taking over this, because it's all opinion based, right? At the end of the day, we have no idea what our awesome GM is going to do. But the good thing about this situation is our GM has put himself in a position with all the signings he's done to really go anywhere. I mean, I don't think people realize the activity we've done. Check this out, man. Look what we've done this offseason, man. We've re-signed Kumaro, McKenzie. You know what I'm saying? We reworked Mitch Morris and gave him an extension, right? Roger Saffold comes in. Tim Settle is in the building, right? I mean, I'm trying to look at the freaking work we've done, man. DaQuan Jones, Von Miller. You know what I'm saying? Otarius Jabari Howard. You feel me? Look, like, dude, it's insane. We brought back Phillips. We have Lawson. You say we bring in Markel Lee. Dude, look at the work that we put in. Jameson, read the list all in all, but look, Barkley comes in, Case Keenum comes in. You know what I'm saying? Like, fam, we put a lot of work in. And I say we. GM has put a lot of work in to make this team still have its edge, still have its fastball, if you will. And now going into the draft, you don't have any glaring needs. And I think that's one thing that that stands out quite a bit. So Boettger re-signing with the team is huge. Boettger and Ryan Bates coming back to this squad is big. Shout out to these cats, and hopefully the recovery goes really smooth for our guy, and we'll go from there, man. Um, here's a funny thing too. I wanted to show you about these. Coming in from Brooke Pryor says two other coaches are expected to join Brian Flores. I guess the league is against the league. A source familiar with the situation tells me two other teams are expected to be implicated, extending all the way up to the ownership level per source. I found that very interesting, by the way, with the Brian Flores thing. So two other coaches are coming through and saying, "Yo, what's up, though?" You know what I'm saying? So it should pay close attention to what's going on with that, and we'll go from there. So now that we got the re-signings out of the way, I do have a question for y'all because we are officially in draft mode. We're officially in filling needs. And I'm curious, where are our biggest needs on this team? Where are they? What are your thoughts? Shout out to my man, Jeff. Scott Blakely comes in. Chicago out here was so pissed they didn't get Bates. Sounds like a good opportunity to trade forward to Chicago for some value. I think they're gonna try to hold on to Ford and see if they can, if Aaron Cromer can squeeze any more lemon juice out of that man. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can get a little bit more out of that man, see if what we got. So we'll see how that plays out. Jeff King, hey, I guess you and Lit and Charity are agreeing. Just depends on what USFL teams want him. There you go. So at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is we've got to fill needs. And the one position that I was looking at was corner. And I got into a debate with, group chats are legit because you could read something somewhere and you bring it in the group chat and you assume that people are going to agree with you with such and such, and then they come up with a different take, and then a whole debate comes in, a whole bunch of voice messages and all that stuff, right? At least that's for me in the many group chats that I'm in. So Josh says, Rico, remember when you wanted to trade trivia for Watson? You damn right. And I'll get into that too, because there's another conversation I want to get into with y'all. But cornerback, and we're talking about the cornerback position, right? And the question was obviously, what are we doing with this 25th pick? And does it make sense to grab a corner, right? And I keep thinking, I'm like, yeah, it does make sense to grab a corner. It really does, because we let Levi Wallace walk. We haven't added anybody to the squad. So it only makes sense to you draft a corner, right? But my biggest beef has been, do you just draft a corner just to draft a corner just because you filled or you checked the box that you drafted a corner? Or do you draft a corner that has high value enough that does the job, right? So then I was like, okay, hold on a second. Let me look at the top 32 corners in the game, according to PFF, how they ranked them, right? And I looked at all of them, and I'm like, where were they drafted, right? We've got the 32 best corners in the game. Okay, what round were they drafted? Because a lot of times folks say, well, the best running backs are usually taken in the second and third, and they have really good success, especially in the second round. I totally agree. There's a lot of second rounders that you're like, shit, that boy's killing the game right now. Even later sometimes. Same for corners, right? So I thought. So I'm going through it, and these are the things, right, that you got to do for yourself to kind of like educate yourself on. Okay, so like statistically, does it make sense to do that move, right? And obviously, evaluators makes a point. You've got to be a good evaluator, make sure that you took that guy, but you better make sure that you get your return on investment, especially if you take him in the first round. So I'm looking at all 32 corners, and 85 to 90% of the corners that I ran through, from Jalen Ramsey to freaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, you name it. And I have the list upstairs. I didn't bring it down. But anyway, there were like 5 to maybe 7 corners that were taken in the 5th. Some were undrafted, like Richard Sherman, 5th. JC Jackson, undrafted. You feel me? But there weren't many. A lot of these corners were picked in the first round. So I'm like, okay, are any of these corners that are in this draft worthy of first round? And when I say first round, I'm talking about where we pick, 25th, right? Hell, we picked up Trey White with the 27th pick. So there's a very big possibility that corner might be the route we take. But here's where I'm like, maybe we don't. Because just a year ago, Brandon Beane was talking about how excited he was about Dane Jackson. right? And funny enough, it was a podcast with Collinsworth and Richard Sherman, and he was like, if you guys aren't realizing we have a budding star that's gonna be, I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, but we have a guy that's he's gonna be a budding star soon, and we're very excited about him, and that's Dane Jackson, right? And they like Dane Jackson. Problem is, would we be looking at corner if Trey White were healthy and Dane Jackson were the next guy up? Problem is, we're not there. So we're in a situation where we have to bring somebody on, right? At least to mitigate, because I don't think we're going to trot out, you know what I'm saying, Dane Jackson and Cam Lewis. Not there's no disrespect to Cam Lewis, but I don't think we're going to do that if we have an opportunity to grab a corner in the first round, right? But if Trey White weren't there, would we do that? It's just those little things I'm talking about. So, and I had to, I don't want to convince myself, but I had to like educate myself. Like, listen, it wouldn't be a bad idea to grab a corner in that first round that is going to be immediate impact off the bat. What muddies the waters is the fact that Trey White is injured. He's gonna be coming back. So, like, how much you invest in a first round corner, especially if you have Dane Jackson that you really like. So, are you willing to put Dane Jackson to sit again behind a guy that you just drafted that you've invested a first round pick in? So now you've got this guy for 3-4 years. So what do you do with Dane Jackson? Do you move on? I mean, it's one of those conversations that you got to have. You got to have those conversations, right? So, and that's one thing that I found interesting to see. Like, is it a lock that we're going for corner? I don't think it's a lock. I think they like Dane Jackson, and they may just find another, you know what I'm saying, cap casualty corner and bring them on and go from there. Don't forget, there's still James Bradbury out there that the Giants aren't going to just outright release because they want something for him. So the Bills could be going after James Bradbury. You just never know, right? When Brandon Beane is silent, that's when he's doing his work. That's when he comes in and starts kind of like, okay, he's scheming. He's scheming in the backfield. You said you never know, right? We never knew Von Miller was coming through. And on top of that, OJ Howard, you feel me? But here we are. So you just never know with that, right? So it'll be interesting to see what Brandon Beane does with that 25th pick. Corner the way to go. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like that. A lot of people figure, we should just go guard because guard is the safest, right? But we just brought back Ryan Bates. So this is where that BPA comes in, right? Josh Allen says, yeah, you're back on that. But I find that super interesting on how we attack this draft and if we should go corner. Statistics say, man, you drafted a first round corner, chances are this corner is going to be pretty damn nice. I mean, yes, are there busts here and there? Of course. But for the 32 best corners that were in that PFF ranking, damn near 90% of them were first rounders. So that is on the side of the side of my thinking when it comes to that. Marshall Parker says, I think cornerback is a massive need. I think it's a need, but I don't think it's as massive as we think it is. So something can be made of for a cornerback position, right? Now, looking at this roster some more, let's go to the running back position. There are a lot of good freaking running backs in this game, man. There are a lot of good running backs, and there's no front about it. And then I started going back to see, okay, so what made me like Breece Hall over the Ty Chandlers, the Rashad Whites, the Tyler Beatty? I like Tyler Beatty, but Tyler, that's a whole nother conversation. You know what I'm saying? The Pierre, I think Pierre Strong was another one that's pretty damn nice. Algier is pretty damn nice. So those are good backs in this damn draft. But Breece Hall, man, that dude gives you it all, where you don't have to take him off the field. You can leave him on. He gives you all the things you need, and he's that good. If you guys have not looked into Breece Hall, do me a favor. Just go don't just look at highlights. Please do not do that. Don't do that to yourself. Go look at him on every play on versus this team, versus that team, versus this team, and see the differences, right? Is he worthy enough of a first round pick? That's the debate. That is the debate, because a lot of people still love Devin Singletary, and Devin Singletary is a damn good back. There's no question about it. He's a damn good back. But the one thing that we do lack from our guy Devin Singletary is that long speed to get around the corner and get going, right? And it's clear that that's what the team was trying to do when they brought in McKissick. You know what I'm saying? McKissick's got that speed to get around the corner and get going. They tried it with Matt Breida. That didn't work out. So you know what they're looking for. They're looking for long speed at that running back position. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll definitely see how that plays out. Stephen Printup says, covering Tyreek Hill. See, a lot of people think that you get if you have a good defense, man, all around good defense, where everyone's playing their part. You got your two all pro safeties. In my opinion, they're two freaking damn good. I mean, everybody knows that. We got one of the best safety tandems in the game. You know what I'm saying? Trey White will eventually come back. Dane Jackson is coming into his own. He's going to. He's always in the right place, right time. He's got some blunders here, but he's going to learn on that. He's going to his third year. He's going to be nice. But when Tyreek Hill does come to your division, I'm not saying a whole lot of things need to change, but you're gonna have to make some adjustments. But the biggest adjustment we made was getting a closer in Von Miller, right? So Tyreek Hill, let's use Tyreek Hill as an example. Tyreek Hill on the Dolphins is great, but if you can't start the engine, you can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And your engine is Tua. And I'm not saying Tua's trash because I think Tua gets a bad rap by everybody. I don't know why they just hate on this guy constantly. But if you can't get out of first gear to second gear because Von Miller's on your ass, I don't know how much Tyreek Hill is going to be a factor. Now, Tyreek Hill is Tyreek Hill. He's going to be a factor no matter where he goes. But you can't be a factor if we on your quarterback's ass. You feel me? So if we'll see how that plays out. I mean, right now, the Bills have handled the Dolphins pretty well the last couple of years now. And I can't see a whole lot changing. I think that we'll still have an edge over the Dolphins, at least for this year. Next year, we'll see how that plays out, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Now, another position that I was looking at as well, first round, and it's worth conversation. It's definitely worth conversation. And it's a tough one. It's a tough one. But if you're looking at our linebacking position, I'm not saying for us to draft a linebacker in the first round. Not at all what I'm saying. But it's worth conversation to see where we're at, because right now, Tremaine Edmonds is in a very crucial year. He's in his fifth year, right? And if we decide not to bring him back, he becomes a free agent. And then we're caught with our pants down because we never got our replacement. Now, I'm not saying that Milano is not enough. Milano is a damn good player. He's a damn good player, right? But after that, you're kind of like pulling at straws to see who can come in and kind of help us out here. So this is where a linebacker in the first could potentially be. I like that in the Kobe. Then Kobe Dean is nice. I haven't seen him mock to the Bills whatsoever, but it's interesting because it's almost you got to set up for the following year. You do. You know what I'm saying? You got to set up because we don't know what's going to happen now. Do they love Edmonds enough? Do they love Edmonds enough where they're not even worried about it? We're going to bring him back and that's what it's going to be. We're about to find out, but it's going to be hella interesting. Those are conversations that we cannot ignore. A lot of times people ignore, oh, we're not going to go linebacker because we're going to bring back. We don't know that. We have no idea, man. We have no idea. So it'll be interesting how these things end up being played out. And this is my question for y'all. And I got to get the super chat quick, and then I'll get to y'all. My man, the ref comes in and says, yo, are you against a linebacker in the first round? Maybe let Teron Johnson hold the cornerback 2 spot and run more 4-3 instead of nickel. That's funny that you just brought that up because I didn't even see your super chat, but I was talking about linebacker. I'm not opposed to linebacker in the first round, man. At the end of the day, to me, that first round, especially where we pick, we're in that premium. It's a first rounder, yes, but it's a premium second rounder because your big dogs are taken, you know what I'm saying, from obviously first round pick all the way down to like 15 to 20. You know what I mean? We'll say 15 to 20. I'll say 15 to 20. 20 and up, you're like, okay, so now who's dropped? Somebody that was supposed to be picked in the top 10 as holy crap has dropped to like 18, 19, 20, right? Those are the ones that you can kind of like, all right, let me jump on that, right? But for the most part, for me, from where we pick specifically at the 25th pick, it's a premium second rounder. So if I'm able to trade down, right, and let another squad come in and take something they like, maybe trade down and accumulate a whole bunch of second round picks. You know what I'm saying? Some second rounds, some third rounds, and then go from there. We'll see how this plays out, man. Because I know McBean, they like their picks, man. They like their picks. However, it's a tricky situation, man. This is why draft time is so damn fun and unpredictable. It's fun and unpredictable. I'm telling you, because you're like anticipating. That's why do you think it draws so much of us sitting at our buddies' places or our homies' place and we just hanging out, nacho, this, that, and the third, and we just, we're glued to the screen. Like, what is next? Damn, I didn't see that coming. Like, let me give you a prime example, right? I'm surprised we landed Ed Oliver. I'm surprised we landed Ed Oliver because what I thought was gonna happen was Ed Oliver was gonna go to the Raiders, right? But then they took it starts with a C. The guy's last name starts with a C. I can't remember. It was so irrelevant at the time, but when the Raiders did not take Ed Oliver, that threw the whole, I mean, I would say threw the whole draft off, but it threw the first 10 picks off. You're like, what the heck? They didn't take him. Okay, shoot, we might be able to get, because at the time we needed a defensive tackle. And there was chatter that we could probably get, Ed Oliver. So then Detroit Lions are picking ahead of us. And we're like, okay, maybe Detroit's going to grab him, right? They freaking pick Hawkinson. And now you have Ed Oliver that falls to us. We had no idea that was going to happen, right? That's why this draft is so crazy. That's why it's too tough. Yes, Clelin Ferrell. I think his name is Clelin Ferrell or something like that. That's it. That's exactly right. Clelin Ferrell. Like, how many of us were like, what? The Raiders took Clelin Ferrell? Are you kidding me? What are y'all? This is craziness. Why would y'all do that? You let Ed Oliver freaking falls to us at the 8th spot or 9th spot, wherever the hell we were picking. I think we were picking 8. Craziness. So this draft is a crapshoot. That's why I lose my shit when people are like, that's not happening. No, it's not happening. No, it's definitely going to be like this. You don't know anything. We know nothing. Not even Brandon Bean sitting there knowing, I know what I'm going to do, because you don't know. You have no idea. We're waiting on seeing what teams will do. Some things change. There's a trade that happens. So many things happen. Look, Mitch Trubisky. Fam, who the hell thought the Bears were going to take Mitch Trubisky? Really? Everyone's like, what? Y'all took Mitch Trubisky? Man, y'all tripping. That happens. It happens. So that's why it's going to be interesting to see what we do, how this plays out. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun as heck. But this is the time for us to really start like looking at all options. There's nothing wrong with being open to like, okay, so what if we took a linebacker in this position? Okay, why? Okay, well, Edmonds in his 5th year. Do we have good enough depth? Let's just say Edmonds goes down. Are you okay with, what I'm saying, just having Milano as your guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, there's a lot of those things play a part. So never be against it, right? Never be against it at all. Dayton R comes in and says, a scout said David Ojabo will be more productive than Hutchinson. Do we take him at the 25th if he falls to learn under Shaq and Vaughn? Here's the deal with Ojabo is a freaking, that boy. These African cats, boy, I'll tell you, man, they got something in their blood where you're like, fam, like, what you eat, man? A lot of that fufu, man, like, what do y'all eating some good stuff, man. And if Ojabo falls, I mean, he just tore his ACL. So, he's going to be sitting for the year. So do you take that 25th pick and run with it, knowing that you have an edge rusher? But then think about what you have in your edge rusher. You got Basham, you got Russo, you got Von Miller. I mean, do you take Ojabo? Like, does it make sense to take him? Because there's BPA, and then there's does it make sense for us to take us based on who we've invested our money into? I know Shaq Lawson, that's a 1-year deal. Phillips, most likely a 1-year deal. That's a defensive tackle. So does Ojabo take over for Von Miller? But not Von Miller, excuse me, Shaq Lawson, but you're still behind Russo. And who knows what's going on with Basham. So to me, Ojabo would be a very nice pick if we had the need for it, or if we even had the capacity to have him on the squad. But I don't want to say we're jacked at defensive line, but it's not something that I would think that Bean would be looking at, right? I don't want to say that he's not looking at that. I don't think he would be looking at, but it would be interesting. It would be interesting if we took that. But Ojabo that guy ain't no joke, man. That boy is the real deal. Real deal. ODC That's Me says, people get so caught up on the combine numbers. Look at Thurman Thomas, man. It was considered to be slow. A bunch of other great players that didn't have a good combine but had great careers. Come on, man. I agree. I totally agree. Listen, don't forget, man. These combines, the combine, let me tell you what the combine is, man. These scouts have looked at you all year long playing for your respective team. They already know how you play. They know. But this is an opportunity for them to get to know you, like, personally. Let me talk to this kid. Let me see what he's about. And then they make it an event. You know what I mean? Run the 40, run the this, run the that. Let me see how strong you are. Let me do. Those are just those that combine just confirms what they saw on film, right? Yo, that boy's got long speed, man. That boy's fast. He runs the 40. He runs in a 4.7. You're like, that's kind of weird. Okay, he's faster in game rather than, you know what I mean, him getting clocked. All right. Man, that boy's been trucking a whole lot of people, man. His pass blocking is amazing. Or Lyman, he's been, you mean, bullying people all over the place. He benches 10. You're like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. What I see on film is completely different. So that combine, when you have that combine is just more solidifying what I've seen on film, right? Saquon Barkley was killing the game when he was in college. Reggie Bush was killing the game. Reggie Bush was nasty. So combine comes in. Okay. All right. I saw what I need to see. Like, for instance, Lamar Jackson. They wanted Lamar Jackson to run the 40 hard. Run the 40, right? You know damn well Lamar Jackson is fast as F. What you need him to run the 40 for? So that's why Lamar Jackson, I'm not running the 40. Y'all know what I do. Period. You knew what I do. So these prominent players that they know what's up, y'all see the film, y'all know how I do. I'm not doing that. Did that drop his stock? Nah, it didn't drop his stock, in my opinion. The 40 helps those that are coming from not so known schools, smaller schools where, okay, I saw some film on that guy. I want to see if he's nice. Oh shit, he just ran a 4.39. Okay, I gotta pay attention. I gotta go back to his film and see what he does. So that's what that whole combine, y'all got me on this combine talk, but y'all catch what I'm trying to say here. You know what I'm saying? Richard Smith comes in and says, yo, money making McDermott and big baller Bean. We'll see. We'll see how they do in this draft. Scott Blake comes in, yo, we don't need all these picks, man. Package them to move up somewhere. Only 12 on practice squad this year, no more than 16. That's a very good point. We have 8 picks right now. We got 8 picks, so we got 1 extra, if you will. Could we end up packaging? Absolutely, we may end up packaging. Could we end up trading down just to trade back up again? That's potentially as well. If we're going to move up and do something, I would be moving up in the first round. That's where I would, because you're going to get someone that you really need. And we're in that position because there's not a whole lot of glaring needs on our squad. So package up a couple deals, maybe a player in that shit, and jump up to the 15 squad, the 15 pick. That's a lot to give up, probably. But that is something that's possible. And we've seen Brandon Beane do it before, where he put on his wizard cape. You know what I mean? He put on his wizard cap and he waved his little wand and boom, 7th pick, Josh Allen. So it's possible. It's definitely possible. We just gonna find out how it plays out, man. Josh Richardson, what's up, JR? What's going on? JR comes in and says, yo, what up, Rico? I think we should trade down with the Lions, maybe get another 2nd round pick or 3rd round pick. We can get a good cornerback or receiver in pick 32. Absolutely, we can. Fam, there's some solid players in this draft. And I hate when people talk about, oh, you can get yourself a running back in the 2nd and 3rd and 4th. Well, you can get a corner in the 2nd and 3rd and 4th. You can get a receiver in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. You can get a guard in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. You know what I mean? Like, every argument that people are making for you not to do something, well, I can make the same argument for you not to do that too, right? It's about what you need and what makes sense for you at the spot that you're picking. That's what it comes down to, man. Listen, and you know what? I was bringing all these guys up, and Epinesa was one that I missed out. By the way, Sean, what was that? Randawa, Brian Asamoah, fam. That boy he's a heat-seeking missile. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if they said, yo, we're drafting Brian Asamoah, I think his name is. You want to hear people out of me? I'm like, they know what they're doing. They want that. And it speaks volumes as to what we're gonna be doing, or what the thought process is going to be with Tremaine Edmonds. We'll soon. I'm not going to sit here and tell you Tremaine Edmonds is safe. I don't think he's safe. I don't think anybody's safe, truth be told. And I'm gonna be real. And whether you guys want to call this a hot take or not, let me tell you something real quick. Let me read this real quick though. Rico's so clean cut. Maybe wifey got him in the doghouse. Nah, son. Ain't nobody in the doghouse. This is not a hot take. this is not a hot take, and this is just a real take, if you will. Everybody can get got on this team. And when I say get got, everybody can be traded on this team. There's only one guy that will not be traded, and that's Josh Allen. That's Josh Allen. Anybody on this roster can be moved. If they, it would not shock me in any way, shape, or form if they packaged up a deal with somebody and said, I don't know, who am I gonna say? Freaking Micah Hyde. I'll give you this pick and this pick with Micah Hyde so I can jump up to the 10th pick. It would not shock me. I'd be like, that's the business. That's the business. Look how old Micah Hyde is. You know what I'm saying? Look where we're at. Look who we have on the depth. We got DeMar. I'm not saying DeMar Hamlin is him, but we got DeMar Hamlin on there. We got Jaquan Johnson on there. We got Josh Thomas on there. They're going to be giving these young guys a chance. At one point, you got to get younger. At one point, right? I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying that I would not be shocked. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Trey White would maybe be a guy that they wouldn't trade off the bat, right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? Stephon Diggs, I can see them moving Stephon Diggs too. Gabe Davis, Deion Dawkins, like anybody can get touched on this team. No matter what. This is just the nature of the business. It's the business. If they feel that they make a move to make yourself get better, if the team gets better and they got to move certain players, they will. The one player that not move is Josh Allen, but everybody else can get moved. That's just the way the game is played, man. I mean, sometimes we get too caught up in like we wouldn't move that guy. That guy's too good. He got to stay here, and then all of a sudden you see that person get moved. It's just one of those things, man. Bobby Ray says, "Yo, baffled why you'd want to draft an injured player in a Super Bowl window. Same with Jameson Williams. Bump that noise, man. Draft someone ready to go." I agree. I understand the question because Ojabo is a talent, and I know that Bobby's referring to the Ojabo. But you want someone that's ready to go, especially if you draft them in the first round. If you're a team that Texans are not there yet, you can take Ojabo and you know what I mean, we're building. So he'll be ready in a year or two. And that's when we'll be primed and ready to compete. But when you're in the window now, you want a guy that can impact you right now. That's why Jameson, isn't Jameson come off of ACL or something like that? And people are really high on taking Jameson that high? I don't know, man. I mean, don't you remember when we drafted Willis McGahee? Willis McGahee, I mean, we took a chance and it worked out for us, I would say. But Willis McGahee messed up his knee. Heavy. If you guys don't know about it, go look it up. You'll see it. It didn't look good, right? We drafted him in the 23rd pick, right? People were against that. What? Are you drafting a guy that busted his knee like that? And he played pretty well for us, right? So, but that's a different circumstance. But you want a guy, but at that point, we weren't in the window to do shit. You guys remember that roster that we put together? We were not in any window, shape, or form. So I get what Bobby's trying to say when he says we got to be in the window. Well, Jameson, if you guys are really, really trying to be in the window, you don't take a guy that tore his ACL. I think he tore his ACL. If I'm wrong, please fact check me. You know what I'm saying? So go from there. Cyber Cabal says, "Yo, Lamar Jackson, wide receiver." Yeah, exactly. The disrespect. The utter disrespect, man. I remember making when I was doing pre-recorded videos, I made a video saying, this is before we even drafted Josh Allen. Yo, we should try Josh Allen at a tight end. Everybody's like, what are you talking about? Why would you put him at tight end? I was like, that's the point I'm trying to make. Why would you put Josh Allen at tight end? Why would you put freaking Lamar Jackson at receiver? It was so crazy. And then we drafted Josh Allen. I was like, oh shit. Johnny Blaze, what up, Johnny? Johnny says, yo, I agree with whoever said we don't need all these picks. We need 3 or 4 impact players this year. Facts. I mean, 8 picks. I mean, I can see us doing it. Don't get it twisted. I can see us doing it. Asamoah. Thank you very much, my man, my African brother. Asamoah. But yeah, we need all 8 picks? No. Will we package some picks to get some guys? I can definitely see that happening. How high would we draft? Excuse me, how high would we trade into the first round? That's the real question. That is the real question. We ain't know about that. Josh Allen won't be traded. Not at all. That boy is the future. That boy is the future. But I'll tell you this, man. Josh Allen will not be traded, but everybody else can. Just remember that. Don't be in your feelings when you see a blockbuster trade and one of your favorite players is gone. And it's a good thing because that means we got something great for that player that we sent off, right? So keep that in mind, of course. Rev, my man Rev says, yo, how teams value certain positions in the draft is relative. There are too many variables to say never draft X in round 1. Absolutely. That's what drives me insane. it makes when these so-called experts, you know what I'm saying, I'm talking about people that own a mic and a camera like me, and I'm not talking about just Bills Mafia folks. I'm talking about like fan bases from all over the place. You know what I mean? And I've connected with a whole lot of people, and we're not doing this and we're not doing that, and their team does the freaking opposite. And then you look like a fool because you put all these definitive things out there. You know what I'm saying? I know people that have put out stuff definitively. This is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. You know what happens? They delete their tweet later on. Yo, keep your shit. Don't delete your stuff, man. Keep it. I know there's a lot of stuff I see that I'm like, yo, I remember that. Man, I was watching this. I forgot. I think it was a Ravens guy. Not a Ravens guy. I can't remember what team it was. I think it was a Browns guy. And he was like, we're gonna do this. And they did not. And I was like, yo, I remember that guy. I'm looking for the tweet, deleted. You know what I'm saying? That happens, man. So that's why you just can't make definitive statement. You just gotta, keep it a buck. Hey, maybe they could do this, maybe they can't do that. Here are my ideas. Here's my opinion on this. Here's my thought process where it rolls, and we'll go from there. So, and this is going to be my next question, and Scott Blakely jumped right on it. I was going to say, what are our 3 biggest needs, truly, right now? Now that we've made our free agent moves, I'm not saying we're done, but now that we've made our free agent moves, what do we need? Scott Blakely comes in and says, hey, we need a cornerback, number 1. That's the first thing we should do. O-line, take an RB, punter, call it a draft. You know what? Let me give you some love, man. He says cornerback, O-line, running back, punter. That's it. That's all you need. I'm sure I'm not even mad at that. I might add a receiver, maybe. I might add a linebacker in there. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all. Word is Lamar is working his ass off. I bet he is. He didn't have a great year last year, and he's going into his last year of his deal. There's a lot of things riding for Lamar right now. He's got to have a monster year for him to get that monster paycheck. He sees all his quarterback friends getting paid. So it does make sense. Richard Forbes, what up, Rich? Rich, I haven't seen it well in a minute, man. If you're going to trade up, it's got to be a receiver. Hell no, Richard Forbes. I ain't trading up for the damn receiver. Yo, fam, trading up for a receiver, that means you're going for a number 1 receiver. Are we automatically going to dismiss what Gabe Davis gave us in the playoffs? That performance he put on against the damn Chiefs? Are we just going to dismiss that? Fam, we can't dismiss that. Are we just going to dismiss a receiver that we have in Stephon Diggs that's got over 200 catches in 2 seasons, 127 receptions in the first year, 103 receptions in the second year? We're just going to dismiss that by drafting a big-time receiver? Unless we're ready to move on from Stephon Diggs, which I highly doubt. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I highly doubt. I can't see us trading up to grab a receiver. And it may happen, but my goodness, I can't envision that. You'll never hear me say, we're not doing that. I just can't envision that. I feel that we would be giving up too much to get into to trade up into the first round to grab a receiver when that receiver becomes at best receiver 3. At best. Because if we Diggs, Davis, and then X receiver. And even then, Dawson Knox might get more touches than him. So then that your first round receiver that you just drafted is now your 4th receiver. And then don't forget, we got Jamison Crowder. Fam. To me, it wouldn't make sense. To me, it wouldn't make sense. I'm not mad at it. If they did, you better get me. I don't know who in this draft is like nice like that you'd be like, he's that guy. Get that Calvin Johnson guy. He's that. No. They ain't no Calvin Johnson is in this draft, in my opinion. Not that I've seen, at least. Sal said, yo, Diggs can be traded if he wants crazy money. Believe it. Oh, I believe it. Trust me. I believe that for sure. It's a business, man. He said it himself, man. Never personal. What he said, never personal. It's just business. He's very much aware of what's happening. Trust and believe that. Trust and believe that. By the way, we are an hour in, and I appreciate you guys chopping it up with your boy. And I'm gonna read a couple more comments, and I'm gonna jump into one last topic that, for some reason, I get vilified. No matter what I say when it comes to Deshaun Watson or Josh Allen, I'm vilified right off the bat. Right off the bat. Even when I'm making No comment on no negative comment on Josh Allen, which I would never, because that boy is a beast. Are you kidding me? And I'm not gonna make a negative comment on Deshaun Watson either, right? So I'll get into I'll get into that in just a moment. I'm just gonna scroll through. I'm gonna get into some comments. We have A plus running backs. No, we do not, sir. That is false. I can definitively say that is false. We do not have A plus running backs. Sorry, Cyber. Wrong. We don't have A plus running backs. Antonio Dingle comes and says, "Yo, Rico, how will you feel if Brandon Bean surprises everyone and trades for little brother Diggs and play with the big brother?" Doubtful that Dallas would let that go because you had little brother was an all pro. The dude had like 10 picks, something nasty. He did get burned a lot, but he had 10 picks nonetheless. So I mean, anything is possible, but that's one of those possibilities I don't see happening. That's just my this is my thought process on that. Um so let me jump into the next comment. Man, some of these clowns. Listen, I'm one of those clowns. I'm one of those clowns because I was one of those guys. I was like, we're probably gonna end up drafting Josh Rosen. He's like the ready guy, right? And when they said Josh Allen, I was like, what? I thought we were going for Josh Rosen. So I guess big crew. I'm one of those clowns, man, because I was not that I wanted Lamar Jackson, but I was like, oh well, looks like we're getting Josh Rosen, and here we are. So let me get to what I wanted to get. Rev Rose is one of them too. Yeah, man. I'm not fronting. Now let me get to what I wanted to get at it. Shit, I got 10 minutes. All right. Let me get to what I want to get to. So maybe I can play it. Maybe I can actually show it. So today I was on Twitter and I was messing around on Twitter and stuff, and I saw a post on top 10 quarterbacks. It didn't say like this year. It just said top 10 quarterbacks. I'm assuming they were just talking about top 10 quarterbacks um going into this year. All right. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm looking at the list. Let me go play I'm gonna show you the list before, because I can talk about all I want, but I want to show it to you. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna find it because everybody's trying to get on my ass. I don't understand why. Because I didn't say anything wrong about it. Voila. Okay. So let me. Okay, perfect. All right, give me a second here. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show y'all, and we can discuss it. I'm actually really I'm curious as to what you guys think about it and how we can rank these. Let's rank them together. Why not? Let's rank that shit together. All right, here we go. Can you guys see my page? I'm gonna put myself. Let me clear some things here, and we gonna talk about this list because I think it's an interesting list. It's an interesting list. All right, here we go. I think that might be better. That might be better. All right, so here's the deal. Look at this list. It goes top NFL QBs. I don't know who put it. The Game Day. Don't know who Game Day is. Shout out to them. Because that post is doing some numbers with conversation. So top 10 QBs, right? They got Aaron Rodgers number 1, Patrick Mahomes number 2, Tom Brady number 3, Deshaun Watson number 4, Russell Wilson 5, Josh 6, 7, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow 8, Matthew Stafford 9, Justin Herbert 10. All right. So I'm looking at this list. I'm like, it's a good list. I'm trying to think of who on that list would I remove. And I was like, I don't know if I can I replace anybody, because I'm like, who's outside of that top 10 list that I'm missing? I'm like, that's a damn good list on top of my head. But I'm like, the one thing I would do though is I would put Josh Allen, and it's a tough list already, but I would put Josh Allen in the top 5. He's top 5. There's no question. He's not out of the top 5. I mean, he's obviously, we know he's a top 10 quarterback, but I think he's in top 5 conversation. Period. That was my tweet. Oh, you're a hater. You just love Deshaun Watson. I was like, whoa, what did I say about Deshaun Watson? All I said was Allen should be a top 5 quarterback. Period. Point final. That's what I said. Oh boy, were they coming for me in the mentions. Hold on. Let me see if I can actually play you the mentions, because I think it's hilarious. Right? So is this, I want to make sure that I gotta make sure that I'm actually opening my own shit so y'all can see what's really good. Yo, there we go. Look, Gotta put Allen in the top 5 over Wilson. Solid list. That was my comment. Oh boy, here they come for your boy, right? So somebody said, why is Tom Brady in that list? I said, what? Why is Tom Brady in that list? Why wouldn't Tom Brady be in that list? That Tom Brady threw for 5,000 yards last year, over 40 touchdowns, and you're not going to put him in that list? I said, you, in my mind, I'm like, you're automatically disqualified, sir. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Like, how you going to take Tom Brady, the GOAT, out of that list? Stop it, right? Well, if you're going to go with Aaron Rodgers, then if you take away his touchdown to interception ratio, he shouldn't even be in the list. What? Some of the people that say stuff, right? And I'm just, it's crazy, right? So, and some people have objective things to say, right? Swap JA17 with Watson, then swap Stafford with Watson and Joey B for Russ. I respect it. I respect that. Some people say, hey, you can argue Allen is as high as number 1, but definitely not lower than 3. Cool, right? Allen is easily better than Wilson right now. He'll be number 1 a year from now. The MVP race is coming down to Allen and Burrow. I'm okay with that, right? He's even above Watson. Some people feel he's above Watson, right? Cool. Allen definitely is over Russ and sexual predator. I mean, you people can't get over their feelings sometimes. Maybe even Brady now. Okay, I'm okay with that, right? I'm looking for the ones that were like, yo, Rico, it was like at the beginning, and people were just on my ass, boy. But truly and really, Allen is definitely top 5. Allen is no question top 5 quarterback in this game. No question. And his game is only ascending, right? But people want to come in and make it look like, oh, there he is defending and wanting Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was already placed in this man's top 5. And I agree with it. He is a top 5 quarterback in this game, personally. And I think him and Allen, because a lot of people want to pit me. I think him and Allen are like freaking neck and neck. Well, he didn't play, and this is the biggest one that I can't stand. Well, he didn't play for a whole year, so he shouldn't even be in that list. What? So did he forget how to play? He didn't know how to sling the rock? Fam, come on now. Michael Jordan retired. You don't think Michael Jordan knows how to fucking bust ass? Michael Jordan retired for you, came back and waxed it. You feel me? Like, nobody forgets to do any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I find it very interesting, man. It doesn't take away from Josh Allen. Josh Allen's gonna be a beast for a long time. And you can't tell me, I can't tell you how thrilled I am. And we all are in the same position of how freaking we don't have to worry about finding a quarterback. Do you remember the days where we had to find a quarterback and we're like, every year we're trying to bring a free agent in, or Kevin Cobb, can you come and help us? Nope. We draft EJ Manuel. That didn't work out. Like, we have been, it was bad, man. And as a fan, sometimes I go back and think, how did I remain so optimistic as a fan, knowing that we didn't have the guy at quarterback? You know what I'm saying? And at that point, as a fan, I was like, the whole year, I was like, yo, let's just beat New England. That was my thing, man. Yo, let's just beat New England, and I'll be happy, because we ain't doing shit this year. Until we brought Allen, and Allen has freaking got us where we need to be. Man, we haven't been this close for a long time to consistently talk about, all right, we're going to the playoffs, 1. But number 2, we got to win this damn thing. And right now, we have the odds right now are really high when it comes to the Bills not only making the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. It's craziness. But boy, oh boy, is this AFC loaded, locked and loaded. It is nasty how full this AFC is. It's crazy. It is crazy. Ronald Rigler says, yo, if you're a long-term Buff fan, you're used to the abuse. Ronald, I feel you, man. I feel you. Listen, it's been so damn long. It's just nice for us to say we have a quarterback that is a top 5 quarterback. Top 5, top 10. But we can actually say we have a quarterback that is in the top 5. What is wrong with that? Why does it have to be, oh, he should be above Watson? It's not about being above this, that, and the third. You're a top 5 quarterback. And if I have a top 5 quarterback, I know I have an opportunity to win as a fan, to witness my team win a damn Super Bowl. We could be the Jets. We could be the Texans. You know what I'm saying? We could be Tennessee. Who else am I going to say? We could be Houston. We could be freaking the Commanders. You know what I mean? But we are in a position right now that every damn conversation has the Bills in it. Every conversation. You could be talking about stadium talk. Bills are in it. Oh, the Bills are getting a new stadium. Oh man, this is a really good look for them because when they're so close to winning the Super Bowl, it's gonna be nice that I'm saying they'll be getting into a new stadium by the time they win one. If we win one next year, man, confidence is high as heck. But man, do we have a quarterback on our hands, and we should be freaking thrilled. So when we say, yo, he's in the top 5, man, what are we arguing about? Well, but he should be number 2. He should number 3. He's the top 5 quarterback. Who gives a damn? Because every last one of them are kind of like neck and neck anyway, right? Neck and neck. I mean, at one point we were having Josh Allen versus Aaron Rodgers in MVP debate. MVP with Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson's a baller. I love Russell Wilson, but I have to say that Josh Allen kind of leaped over top. Now he didn't have a great year. But at the end of the day, he's with a new team now, so we're going to see how talented this team can be. But man, oh man, we got ourselves a damn good one. And some people feel he's a top 3 quarterback. To me, once you're top 5, man, we straight like that. We are straight. I mean, listen, when you're amongst Aaron Rodgers, your name is amongst Tom Brady. Your name is amongst, the Deshaun Watsons. How could you go wrong with that? Really though, how could you go wrong with that? That's a crazy list to be part of. And when you match that and Pat Mahomes on top of that, we're gonna find out, and we're gonna see if Pat Mahomes comes through this year, because now he doesn't have Tyreek Hill. We're gonna see how that plays out. I personally think that Tyreek not being with Pat Mahomes, actually, that's a question for y'all, man. Who does it hurt more? Does it hurt Pat Mahomes not having Tyreek, or does Tyreek get hurt more not having Pat Mahomes? That's a damn good question. I mean, I know that Pat still has, Kelsey, but Kelsey is Kelsey when Tyreek is creating havoc for DBs, trying to not get their top taken off, right? And this is where Kelsey can come in and do his damn thing. So it's gonna be different, man. Maybe Gesicki becomes that dude now. But then Tua is no Pat Mahomes. It's gonna be interesting, man. The game is officially changed, man. They changed the game up big time. They changed the game up, man. So listen, man, folks, that's my time, man. I just got to read a couple more comments and super chats. I don't think I missed any super chats today, but I appreciate y'all anyway. For those that have come in and hung out with me and came in and threw some love, it's always much appreciated. And Rev Rose comes in and says, "Yo, once the GOAT and Rodgers finally retire, Allen will be a top 3 easily. Allen's, Mahomes, Herbert. However you want to rank them. Listen, those are gonna be top dogs, man. Those are gonna be top dogs. And Herbert is coming on, man. Herbert, that boy's nice, man. Miami's got to be kicking themselves in the pants for not grabbing Herbert. They grabbed Tua instead of Herbert. Man, Kevin's got to be he's got to be losing his shit, man. D Hans says, "Yo, hey Rico, when our house gets built, do you think we host a Super Bowl?" Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, shoot, we will be in conversation, I'm sure, because we have a state-of-the-art new damn stadium. So why not? The question is, would we be able to house a whole lot of people coming to Buffalo? You know what I'm saying? Are enough accommodations, hotels, and a whole bunch of stuff? I mean, I don't know. Are we built enough? Are we built enough to host a whole lot of people coming through? That's a good question, man. That's a real good question. We'll see. Let's win the damn thing first, man. Silas Woodard comes in with a super chat. What up, Silas? He goes, "Yo, who's gonna pony up that G foot at PSL? I live in NJ. Damn, I don't know, fam. I have no idea. I don't know what we're gonna do about that. Your guess is as good as mine, man. Yo, who's footing that bill? Who's footing that bill for real?" Jeff King, what up, Jeff? Jeff comes in and says, "Listen, Josh was an up in the air player at times. Did anybody like Allen's long ball walking into KC for the first time last year? I wasn't, though he regressed, but I admit when I'm wrong, and I was. I think a lot of us were, man. That deep ball wasn't working. Until, we tweaked a few things, and now Allen was dialing it up, man. He was dialing it up. And sometimes it's okay to start a little slow. But when you finish strong the way that Allen did and the Bills did, you can't go wrong with that. You definitely cannot go wrong with that. Kelsey is plus 30. Yeah, man. What is he? 31? He just turned 31? 31, 32? So yeah, man. I think Mahomes is gonna be dealt a reality check. Mahomes is still a star, though. That boy is a superstar, so he's gonna make things work regardless. You feel me? That little scamper he does, you know what I mean, to get all over, get out of the pocket and stuff. But when you can scamper when you have Tyreek Hill that just is just blazing fast. But Tua ain't Pat Mahomes. That's what it is, man. Silas Wood comes as Mahomes is going to feel it this year. Hill bailed him out constantly, and it's gone now. So we're gonna see who. I mean, they got a boatload of picks, man. So they can grab a receiver, maybe not to the caliber of Tyreek Hill, but they still can grab a receiver and really do some work. So we'll see how that plays out, man. Can go both ways, man. But I know the Tua ain't Mahomes. You damn Skippy. All right. So for me, folks, that's it, man. That's it for me. I appreciate y'all. Your boys got to get ready to go to work like that overnight. So appreciate y'all. Listen, man, at the end of the day, new stadium coming in. I'm really excited about that. That's going to be fun. That's going to be exciting. Draft is around the corner. It's going to creep up on us real quick, real fast. So homework begins now. I'm going to start doing my homework on certain players and prospects and where I believe these Bills need to attack, right? So O-line, that's a mid-round pick for O-line for me. Linebacker is I'm not sleeping on linebacker, man. I'm not sleeping on linebacker at all. If we were to draft one in the first round, I would not be shocked. One bit. Running back, you already know how I feel about running back. If we were going to draft one running back in this draft at the 25th pick, that's Breece Hall. To me, he's number one. Go watch that man's film. He's nice like that. But if we don't, so be it. If we grab a corner and that corner comes in, and statistics tell us you grab a corner in the first round, man, he's going to be nice for your squad. Except for that one dude that got drafted by the Lions. His name is eluding me right now, but he got drafted from Lions. He played for Florida. Can y'all help me out? Who was that dude? And I thought he was going to be nice. And Kevin was like, dude, no, he is not going to be nice. I was like, oh, man, he might be nice, man. Did you see his 40 times? 40 times was horrible. And I don't even know if this man is still in the league. I don't even know if he's still in the league right now. He played for the Gators, and he got drafted by the Detroit Lions. Who is that man? It's not coming to me right now. But anyway, not Okuda, not Jeff Okuda, not Jeff Okuda. It's a light-skinned cat. A few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. I can't remember who he is. He's probably not on the squad anymore, truth be told. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So, folks, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all always show love no matter what. Support the BF network. Y'all know exactly what it is, man. So if you guys haven't jumped on that app, listen, we did an update. The update is like 80%. We're still kind of tweaking a few things. Maybe right now we're up there. And the draft board is up. So go ahead and start looking to see who fits the bill for you guys. Go jump on that app. It's there to download. It's the BF network. Download it on. Listen, go to your Apple, go anywhere. You'll find it, man. And give me your update, man. What do you guys feel about the app? How do you guys feel about this app? This app, we've been putting a lot of work into it, and we've had really good feedback from a lot of people, and I hope that you guys are still enjoying it. But like my man D Hanson said, man, jump on that app. It is fire, and I appreciate D Hanson. That's love. So if you guys have not jumped on that app, go ahead and jump on your app, BF Network. It allows you to draft, allows you to be the GM for the Buffalo Bills. Do you want to make a few more cuts? Do you feel like we can get a few more free agents? Jump in there and make it happen, right? And then you become the GM. You make the draft, see what's happening. You want to trade a pick? Go ahead and trade a pick and see what you can get. Folks, that's it for me. I appreciate y'all, man. And just like that, I'm going to get out of here. Love, respect, and listen, man, don't forget, there's a lot of power in your words. When you make a joke, you might get the black smacked off of you. When you make a joke, you might be sent into the next day. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure when you bust a joke, be ready to slip it. You know what I mean? Slip that. You can't just take it. You can't take it like that. I'm just saying. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So, folks, that's it for me, man. You guys have yourself a fantastic evening, and we will catch you on the flip side. And until next time, it's your boy, and I'm gone. Let's go.